What's up, everybody? It's Joneser, your favorite comic book guy here. I've got another one of these Masters of the Universe Origins figures to unbox here. Today we've got Clamp Champ, the heroic Master of Capture. Master of Capture? Really say that? Oh my God, it does. That is hilarious. The Master of the Capture, Clamp Champ. I never knew that. I practiced these before I say them, and I couldn't help but laugh. The Master of Capture. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one tickled by that. But before we dig into Clamp Champ here, I'm going to do some shout outs. When I did my comic book video, we did some shout outs for some comic book people. So we're going to do some shout outs for some toy people. And, like I said before, I'm not going to shout out like, Toy Ploy or Pixel Dan or anybody like that. We're going to focus more on some of the smaller YouTube community that we're hoping to grow here. And anybody I shout out via either a comic book channel or a toy channel or whatnot, these are people that I actually watch and, I've actually viewed their content and I approve, I endorse. So here we go. First on up here, we got J80 Hobbies. Now, J80 Hobbies does, I have like kind of three tones to his channel here. What drew me in, he has the G.I. Joe toys, does some of the Star Wars toys, he's got some of the vintage pieces. He did a Death Star video that had me like, wow, that vintage Death Star really hit me in the nostalgia feels, especially being I never had one, never seen one. He did the Ewok Village, which, we played with. He does the Transformers, but he doesn't just do toys. He also has some stuff on like paintball and fishing and kayaking. And so check him out. J80 Hobbies. Good stuff. Last guy I want to shout out here is a guy called Radical Toys. Now, Radical Toys, they do some Motu unboxings, kind of similar to me, but he does them with his own style and a lot more production value. But he also does G.I. Joe and Transformers. I've seen some WWE figures, Power Rangers, some Sonic the Hedgehog stuff. He also does some live streams. He goes live and he plays some old school Sega Spider-Man games that really hit me in the nostalgia feels. Some of these Spider-Man games I spent an ungodly amount of hours playing, and one thing I had to kind of got a tickle out of my boy here, when he gets beat up or something in the game, he gets mad, he handles it like such a mature adult. I was blown away. Like, there was none of that angry video game nerd where you're screaming and throwing the controller and having a hissy fit, probably kind of like how I play, but he was kind of more of a, oh darn, or oh drat, and I was very impressed with his self-control. Another thing that it makes his channel awesome and very unique. He has his own unique intro for most every video he does, where like if he's unboxing Man-at-Arms, you'll see like Man-at-Arms animated and he'll shoot something, or like Fisto, I think, punched something, and like he does the animation for the intros himself, and he's very, very talented fella, so his channel's worth watching, even if all you did was like put on the video, watch the intro, and then go to the next one. But honestly, watch the whole video because he's awesome. But anyway, check him out. Radical Toys. I got a kick out of it. So anyway, with the shouted out business done here, we'll get to Clamp Champ, our Master of Capture. I was going to go on a tangent here with Clamp Champ and regarding the new Masters of the Universe Revelation show, because I kind of like, I remember being a kid in the 80s when this guy came out in the late 80s, and I had the two twin brothers that were they happened to be black, and they grew up in the little apartments that I grew up in, and they were telling me about a black He-Man. There's going to be a black He-Man. There's going to be a black He-Man. And I remember, as a kid thinking, He-Man can't be black. This is how kids think. I mean, now I've seen Hebrew, and where we'll probably do that. But anyway, yeah, it was very important to them, and he was never featured in the Filmation show. They didn't do him in the Mike Young show, and then here we get a big shot in Revelation to do him, and I think he's in there maybe 10 seconds, if even that. I mean, 10 seconds might even have been too long, and instead, we got a couple characters race swapped, where here we have, this iconic, African American, or I guess he's not an American, African Eternian Clamp Champ who didn't get featured. Kind of, again, I mean, he could have easily slid into the Andra character, but I digress. This is not a tangent about what's wrong, in my opinion, with Revelation. We'll save that for another video. They did some right too, but let's get back to Clamp Champ, our master of capture. So, looking great in the box. Got our Clamp Champ. Slide over to the side here, and we got the accessories. Looks like we come with an extra head, an extra hand, and even an extra weapon, which I'm pretty sure the vintage one didn't come with. I don't have a vintage Clamp Champ. He's getting way expensive nowadays, and we'll eventually track one down, but for the purposes of this video, we're probably going to have to use a side-by-side picture like I did with Ninjor, but I'm sure we'll find some fun things to do with our Clamp Champ here. We'll flip him around and check out this beautiful artwork here on the back, Axel Jimenez popping it off. Yeah, it looks like he's got the drop on Ninjor here. It's protected the king. I don't know if you remember in my Ninjor video, but we had the artwork here where it looked like Ninjor had the king dead to rights, but haha, no, he doesn't. You check this out. Clamp Champ must have caught that arrow in midair, and then captured him with his weapon here. I mean, he caught a freaking arrow in midair with his bare hands. I've never even seen He-Man do that. Like, how badass is this guy? Have the job of protecting the king, which, if I remember right from the original mini comic, that was his mandate. I think he was like the king's bodyguard and the jailer or whatever. I don't know how those two duties coincide, but I digress. We'll go down here to the action features, and it shows press the trigger on the Techno Clamp, put the pinch on the enemies, and we slide over to the cross cell, and we've got every one of these figures. We've unboxed every one of these figures except this one. So let's do that. Okay, here's our Clamp Champ, our heroic master of capture. He's got his extra weapon here, his accessories. Looks like he's got the head and the hand there. So first thing I'd notice here is the old Clamp Champ. The armor doesn't feel like I expected. I guess the old vintage armor was a little more of a hard plastic. This seems more of a softer plastic. It's very much similar to the Fisto armor, which we'll be doing him later. In fact, we've got a little bit of paint slop on the armor there, which I'm not too hot about, but that's not too much of a deal breaker. Let's get the other head and hand on him and then just see what else he can do. All right, I do think I like the expression on this other face a lot better than the than this one. He just looks a little more, mischievous or action ready here. So we're gonna test his little action feature here. It looks like you push this little button here and wha-bam, right into your living room, folks. That's right, sucker. Bam! Yo, hold up, King Randor. I got these clowns. Get over here, Ninja. Huh. Ah. Take that, yo. Eternia style. Yeah. You'll have to forgive my terrible voice acting. I have no idea what Clamp Champ sounds like because he's never been voiced animated. So I guess I must have channeled some kind of like 70s black action star, or at least in my mind, that's what it was. Anyway, here, As you can see, the side-by-side comparison here from Clamp Champ to the vintage Clamp Champ. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot changed with the exception of the other swappable parts and the extra weapon. It's pretty much the same thing as far as I can tell without having a vintage one in my hands. And here we got, King Randor here. We don't have an Origins King Randor, so I just used my vintage one. The vintage King Randor is an expensive piece, and he's hard to come by. So it would be nice for a lot of Masters of the Universe collectors to get a Origins version of the King. That would be a lot of fun. So let's have a little more fun with our Clamp Champ and, see what we get. Yeah, that's right, Skeletor. Got your ninja punk ass right there on the ground. Nothing you could do about it. No, this is terrible. Yeah, got this glowing in the dark punk on the floor too. You ain't gonna mess with Clamp Champ, baby. No, you're worse than He-Man. What'd you say to me? Bah! That's right. Well, okay, I can think of no more fitting place for this video to end than right where it began for me in my mind. Because the first time I'd ever heard about this character, I was told there's going to be a black He-Man. And you know what I see right here in front of me? A black He-Man. And Revelation did it there with King Grayskull, and you can have your opinion about it, and one way or the other. I personally didn't care for it, but this is the thing. Like, He-Man was always all-inclusive. He-Man was always all about, not to judge people by the colors of their skin or what they appear like or anything like that. And that is the spirit of Masters of the Universe. Now, we can all have our opinion on race-swapping characters. I mean, we've done it with Nick Fury and coming up with the new Batman with Commissioner Gordon, and they've done it with the Human Torch for the Fantastic Four, and, I personally think it works better when you use characters like Miles Morales, where it's his own character, instead of taking established characters and swapping them, but it's the modern era, and people are going to do stuff. So here we go. This is the end of the video. Black He-Man, just like I never thought I'd see it. So until next time.